This is ABC15 Mornings.
And we get you out there on this Friday, revved up and ready to go as we take a look at what's going on across the valley. Really pleasant out there. A nice looking start to this day. Temps in the low 80s. We've seen temps in the upper 70s as well. And we can tell you changes are coming your way pretty quickly. We'll get to that momentarily. First, we say good morning to you. Thank you for starting your weekend with us. We sure appreciate it. Kaylee O'Kelly here in studio, and our Nick Saletti is social distancing from home. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Happy Friday, Kaylee. Happy Friday, everyone. And thanks for joining us with ABC 15 Mornings as we cruise into the weekend. A lot of news to get to. First, let's talk about that most accurate forecast. Meteorologist Iris Hermosillo is joining us from home, social distancing as well, and she's getting us ready for our Friday and the weekend.
Hey, good morning, guys. Absolutely. And this morning, not off to a bad start. We're starting to get a little bit of that daylight out there. The sun not up just yet. We're still about 14 minutes away from our official sunrise, but you can already start to see some of that daylight. If you're heading out the door soon, temperatures are comfortable now, but today is going to be a hot day. The good news is that it's not going to be as hot as it's been the last couple days, and that will put us a little further away from records. After tying the record both yesterday and the day before, the record not in jeopardy necessarily today. Temperatures will be trending down a few degrees here as we head into the weekend, staying above normal, though, technically. 81, our temperature officially at Phoenix Sky Harbor. We may drop a little bit further, but likely not a whole lot further here, as again, the sun is about to come up soon. Low hundreds by lunchtime, then a high today of 106 degrees. We'll talk about what to expect by the weekend in just a few minutes. Good morning, Chelsea.
Hey, good morning, Iris, and good morning to all of you. Just updating the maps here. We had an issue on I-10 if you were traveling in the eastbound or westbound direction closer to State Route 587. We were seeing some delays there. An earlier car fire. It's out. No issues anymore. So I just wanted to show you that we have green flows and give you that update real fast. East Valley overall, clear conditions for the most part. I-10 westbound near 40th Street. There's still a car that's off to the right shoulder, but it's not causing any big delays. North Valley, all green flows right now. From the west side of town, I-10 eastbound is slow. Earlier this morning in the Deck Park Tunnel, we had a crash. That's clear. Now we have reports of a second crash near 27th Avenue. Brakes are back to about 59th Avenue at this point. But with our ADOT cam, I keep looking in the area. I don't see it. It doesn't mean it's not out there. So just be careful as you're making your way into downtown Phoenix. Factor in at least 10 extra minutes, or you can use Van Buren or McDowell instead.
Okay, Chelsea, happening this morning, Paradise Valley Unified School District will hold a special meeting to talk about reopening schools. We're told the superintendent could make changes to the district's reopening criteria before possibly deciding on a staggered return to in-person learning. The district has more than 30,000 students in K through 12. Today's meeting gets underway at 10 a.m. It will be streamed there on the district's YouTube page. And we have also learned a staff member at Skyline High School in Mesa has tested positive for COVID-19. Now, earlier this week at Red Mountain High School in Mesa, there were 3 reported COVID-19 cases. The district started modified in-person learning on Monday. Well, nearly every county in our state now meets the school benchmarks for in-person or hybrid learning. According to the Arizona Department of Health Services dashboard, 11 counties now meet all 3 benchmarks. The only ones that don't are Gila, Graham, Mojave, and Yuma. Well, teaching from home with kids who are learning at home. Even if you're not a teacher, this whole online learning and work from home struggle, it is real. But we did find an inspiring teacher from North Central Phoenix getting help from her own kids to keep her students and everybody else engaged.
You guys are rock stars. Awesome. I love seeing you guys moving and grooving. I might have to stop what we're doing, and I've even told the parents a couple times. I'm sorry, I will be right back. I need to go help my kids.
Adjusting to the new norm of teaching online from home, Jill Gernroth knows firsthand the struggle of work interruptions from her own kids who are learning from home.
Originally, we talked about put your ear up to the door, and if you hear me talking, don't. But my kids are 7 and 9, and, you know, this is their playroom, essentially. So what they'll do is they'll just come barging in.
Frustrated like most moms would be, the teacher 10 years in the making was forced to find a new way to make all of this work. So she got her kids involved in the process.
Good morning, friends. Can you say good morning?
Emma, who's a second grader, and her son Aiden, who's in fourth, are her special helpers.
So I've had to kind of think on my feet. A lot of the time they'll come in and we're doing calendar, for example. So I might just grab one of the kids and say, oh, here, Aiden wants to count to 10 today with us, my friends. And I'll hand them our little pointer stick and I'll give it to them and they kind of know what to do.
Adding life to classroom lessons.
Oh, you're wearing a dress. I love that because you are wearing a dress. Okay.
To make learning fun.
I think it's cool too for my students to see, and my parents to see that I'm a mom too. My kids are coming in, they live here too, and my kids are not quiet normally. And I just want people to see that I'm in this balance and all too.
And going easy on herself when things just aren't.
Honestly, I might be in the middle of recording a lesson and I might say that today is the wrong day of the week. Or I might mess up when I'm counting, or I might totally skip a part of calendar, which has happened sometimes because I get distracted by the doorbell ringing, the dog is barking, different things. And I say to I'm sorry, my friends, I messed up, but teachers mess up too, because I want kids to understand that adults mess up too, and that's okay.
Giving us a glimpse of what life is like for teachers at home who still don't know what comes next.
What can parents do to help our teachers?
Even
just silently, what can we do?
Giving grace, being understanding and compassionate. Even I have to say, just getting an email thanking me. I've gotten a couple of those and it filled my bucket. I just really think the parents just need the positive vibe sent the teachers' way. We really need to be kind to each other.
And especially so right now.
Exactly.
In North Phoenix, Kaylee O'Kelly, ABC15 Arizona.
Yeah, and Kaylee, I mean, she's amazing that she's able to juggle her own kids and her classroom. But I love her attitude. And then she touched on something so important. She said grace.
Yes.
And I think that that's such a good reminder for all of us. Just grace, patience, and gratitude. We're so grateful for our teachers right now. And parents, too, like you. I know you're having to juggle things, too. It is
not
tough
easy
right now.
right?
So,
but we have to pat ourselves on the back for it, to each other and ourselves.
Yeah. I give parents like you a lot of credit and teachers like her as well. I mean, thank you so much for what you're doing right now. I want to switch gears right now. Let's talk about this. Moderna says it may meet the November mark after all to release its coronavirus vaccine. We've covered this for you. The company says volunteers for the phase 3 trial joined quickly because of high infection rates around its testing sites. Some of them are here in Arizona, and that allowed the company to start trials sooner than expected. Moderna says it will have an independent committee review its vaccine before it goes on to the FDA for formal approval.
Well, as lawmakers talk about a possible second stimulus package, millions of Americans, they are still waiting for their first $1,200 stimulus check. This morning, our Rebound Arizona team is looking for answers, and our Joe Ducey talks with Arizonans who could really use that money.
Did I do something wrong? Is there an issue with something I filed?
There are questions that have been haunting Diana Ishak for months. Where is her $1,200 stimulus money?
If, I get steps on what to do, gladly be happy to do them.
Calls to the IRS? Nothing. Checking the IRS website? Just this. We don't have enough information yet. You're not eligible for payment.
No one has been able to give me any answers.
Soon, about 9 million people who didn't get stimulus money and did not file taxes will get letters from the IRS. They have until October 15th to register. But that's not Diana. She says she filed her taxes and got a refund. All these people say they also filed but can't get stimulus money or any help. Possible reasons? IRS doesn't have your correct bank account information. Your payment is scheduled sometime before the end of the year, or you don't qualify. Diana says she qualifies. Others tell me the same thing, like Carol. It shows no payment date, and it's said that since early May. John, he filed taxes in February. His refund is scheduled, but no stimulus money. Jadai filed 6 months ago. No refund or stimulus information, saying, I keep getting robot answers.
They just said, no, it's you and 30 million others. Just be patient is what I'm hearing. And if that is the case, okay. But I just want some confirmation that that is the case.
And as Congress debates another stimulus payment, Diana worries.
If I didn't get the first one, what are the chances I am going to get the second one?
The IRS cites privacy reasons for not talking about these individuals. Instead, they send some web links that give generic information. These people want specifics. They want to know what they can do to help. Likely, that isn't going to happen. 7 months into this pandemic, their website still says, please do not call the IRS. Still waiting for stimulus money? Email us, rebound@abc15.com. And go to abc15.com/letjoeknow for that IRS information. For the Rebound Arizona, I'm Joe Ducey. If you got a problem, let me know.
Okay, thank you, Joe. You know, if you are a Johnson Utility customer, you need to know Pinal Partnership is hosting a virtual meeting. They're hoping to discuss the issues that people are having with Johnson Utilities. This gets underway at 8 a.m. Johnson Utilities has had problems for years. In 2018, the Arizona Corporation Commission appointed EPCOR Water to assume operation of the company, but those problems have continued. Just go to pinalpartnership.com for the link to this morning's Zoom meeting.
Well, your voice, your vote. We started our week with a visit from President Donald Trump. It's been a busy week, and today Vice President Mike Pence is heading to the Valley. The VP is scheduled to participate in the Libre Initiative Roundtable, and afterwards he will speak at a Veterans for Trump event. This is in Litchfield Park. Now, his wife, Second Lady Karen Pence, met with military families in Arizona Thursday, and Ivanka Trump campaigned for her father in Phoenix on Wednesday. Meantime, Donald Trump Jr. will be in Chandler next week, we're told, to headline a Students for Trump rally. Tomorrow, Dr. Jill Biden, Joe Biden's wife, will take part in a virtual phone bank calling Arizona voters. Last week, she took part in a Zoom meeting with Arizona teachers to discuss reopening schools. Remember, the last day to register to vote in Arizona is October 5th. It's coming up quick.
It sure is. 6:10 now, and up next, fighting the pandemic as we continue to deal with and face COVID-19. This virus is leading to doctor burnout. New for you this morning, a closer look at an alarming survey of physicians.
Plus, across the nation, people have gone from working in the office to working from home. So we have some tips from the experts to prevent some back pain, all of those bad posture habits while sitting for so many hours.
Well, it's almost 6:15. Time now for that most accurate forecast. In fact, the sun coming up as we speak. Now, it's still tucked away behind the mountains, so it's going to be hard to see for just a little bit longer. But that daylight, we're starting to get a little bit more of it. Something you're going to notice now that we're seeing that a little bit of that daylight, you can really tell we've got that haze again across our skies. It's that wildfire smoke that continues to sit higher up in the atmosphere. So it's not necessarily at the surface, but it's what's giving us those continued hazy conditions. You might see a little bit of an orangish, reddish glow as that sun comes up behind the mountains. 81, that's our temperature right now, with the sun again coming up just right now. Winds out of the east at 7 miles an hour. Temperatures across the valley, not all of us in the 80s. We've got some 70s sprinkled in the mix, but it's not as many 70s as we've enjoyed the last few days. So this morning is running a little bit warmer than the last few days, but it still feels pretty good, and especially in comparison to what we're going to feel later. So the morning time, your best bet for those activities outdoors. 79 our temperature right now in Goodyear. Good morning to you, and surprise, you're waking up to 74. It's 83 in Anthem, 87 in Scottsdale, 80 in Glendale, and 84 in Gilbert, with the Santan Valley checking in right at 74 degrees. Also running a little bit warmer up north, Flagstaff, remember, for the last few mornings dropping into the 30s. Not the case this morning. We're at 48 degrees in Flagstaff at the airport. It's 64 in Kingman, 63 in Payson. At the Grand Canyon, though, in the upper 30s right now. 81 our temperature again officially at Phoenix Sky Harbor. While we're seeing a little bit of that wildfire smoke haze, you're not seeing any clouds out there, really. We're looking at mostly clear conditions across the state, and we will stay sunny and dry here in the valley through the weekend. High pressure, that's what's been bringing the heat the last few days, but that ridge of high pressure is going to begin to break down a little bit over the next few days as we track low pressure moving into the Pacific Northwest. It will bring some rain to the Pacific Northwest, not enough to put out all of those fires, but hopefully a little beneficial for those fire crews that continue to battle the wildfires across the Northwest. That area of low pressure won't bring us any rain, unfortunately, with the exception of a very slight chance for showers Monday and Tuesday for the high country. For the valley, though, we're staying dry, but that area of low pressure will help nudge those temperatures down a bit over the next few days. So, for example, today, not as hot as it was yesterday. 81 our temperature now. We'll climb to 84 by 8 a.m., mid-90s by 10 a.m., and then our high today peaks at 106. So 106 for a high in Phoenix, nice and sunny and nice and dry. I want to show you something, too. Our average high temperature is now finally back in the double digits. Average high for today is 99 degrees. Now, that said, that doesn't mean we're going to see average temperatures anytime soon. The extended forecast and the long range forecast still keeps our forecast high temperatures running about 5 to 10 degrees above the normal high for this time of year. But at least it's a glimmer of hope that those average highs are starting to trend down. Cooler weather eventually on the way, right? Highs in the low hundreds by early next week, just as the fall equinox happens on Tuesday.
ABC 15 Desert Drive Time, sponsored by Accident Law Group.
Alrighty, thanks so much, Iris. Chelsea Davis here, watching the roadways, and desert drive times look pretty good. We're back to Friday light. We had a lot of crashes earlier, and now it's calming down. 24 minutes is the longest we have for I-17, traveling southbound from Loop 101 all the way to the Stack. US 60 and I-10 desert drive times look awesome as well. Wide view of the map showing mostly green flows, especially for the east side of town. There is a reported crash on US 60 traveling through Superior. I'm not seeing any big delays with that one, though, but I'll let you know if that changes, of course. As you're traveling into downtown Phoenix, I-10 eastbound near 27th Avenue, we had a crash. Clear now. You don't have to worry about that. It was mostly impacting an off-ramp, and now we're looking at mostly green conditions making your way into downtown Phoenix, not only on I-10, but also I-17, the 51, even Loop 202 Red Mountain. North Valley, clear, but want to show you our ADOT cam. This is what I-17 looks like if you travel near Pinnacle Peak. Heads up, though, weekend construction will shut things down in the southbound direction between Joe Max and Deer Valley. So I'll go over some more weekend construction here in just a few minutes.
Okay, Chelsea, it is almost 6:19. Thank you for that. As this pandemic continues, we are learning more about our healthcare heroes, their stress, the anxiety they're dealing with. More than 6 months of very long work hours really taking a toll. And our Mark Thompson is live this morning sharing the results of a massive and very telling survey. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, Kaylee. And really just some disturbing numbers here. Nearly 60% of physicians, according to this national survey, are now feeling tired, exhausted, and some form of burnout. And this is just really hard because they are working so hard for all of us. And this survey was done by the Physicians Foundation. Over 500,000 doctors took part. Doctors' fatigue is something that's not new. It started long before COVID-19, but the pandemic has only made it worse. Gary Price is the president of the Physicians Foundation. He says that more needs to be done to help doctors with their mental health, or this issue is only going to get worse.
There are a number of reasons why physician burnout has been increasing. They include increasing regulatory burdens, frustration with decision-making regarding patients' care being taken out of the physician's hands, and even in some cases, not having adequate resources to care for patients. The pandemic has made what was already a bad situation worse.
And the survey also found that half of doctors report outbursts of anger because they're under so much stress, and 1 in 5 say that they've turned to medication or alcohol just to cope. So we really need to support our physicians, especially during this pandemic. Reporting live this morning, Mark Thompson, ABC 15 Arizona. Back to you.
Yeah, Mark, those numbers are alarming. Thanks for shining a light on this. In the meantime, working or doing school from home may have seemed like it would just be temporary, right? But now that it's months later, many of us may not have the most comfortable work from home setups. Physical therapists say if your family is sharing one workspace, it's important that it can be adjusted to each person's size. You can use books as a footrest, or maybe you can adjust the height of your monitor with the books. And if you're going to buy one thing for your workspace, maybe a splurge, make sure it's a chair.
That's something that you can raise and lower. That's something you can adjust the back. You can go to the stores and sit in the chairs, try them out, adjust the arms.
Makes me think of my grandma. She was so big on posture. So if you're sitting a lot, make sure to take breaks and walk around as often as you can. You can also do heel raises to get your blood moving. And while you're seated, make sure that your shoulders are actually relaxed, not shrugging, because that could just cause you some more pain and some more tension.
Wonder how many people just sat right up, right? Shoulders back, posture. Thanks for the reminder. Appreciate it. Hey, ahead here on ABC 15 Mornings on this Friday, if you have plans maybe to venture away from home this weekend, maybe you just need a place to go. Well, in a moment, we're going to preview a first-time event here in Phoenix, and this one is all about supporting local business. So to dine in or to take out, Arizona Restaurant Week for fall is kicking off today. Participating restaurants across the state offering special menus, allowing you to try a variety of things. You're going to find two options at most places, one for $33, the other for $44. Just go to our website or our app, ABC15.com, or our news app to see a list of participating places. It is a great way to maybe try a place you've always been curious about. And our smart shopper, Chelsea Davis, diving deeper and looking closely at these menus to see where the best deals are. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, there's over 130 restaurants participating, so you have a lot of choices to make, but here are a few tips to save. The most important thing, Kaylee, you mentioned it, there are two prices with this, 33 or 44. Okay, so make sure you know the difference. Is it 33 per person or is it 33 per couple? That's going to be the lowest number. 33 per person is going to cost you a lot more money than it would be per couple. So keep that in mind when you're looking at them. Make sure you read the fine print that says if it's per person or per couple. Now, another thing is during Arizona Restaurant Week, basically what they do with their menus, sometimes they create custom dishes, but for the most part, they take what's on the Arizona Restaurant Week menu, but pull their best-selling dishes from their regular menu, okay? You following me? So here's what I do to make sure I'm actually going to save money. I look at the dishes that are on the Arizona Restaurant Week menu. I compare it to the regular menu and I tally up that total. And if this is going to be cheaper than that, you're not getting a good deal. So if we were doing that $33 per couple and you looked at all the different dishes and you could actually get it for $25, then you're going to be overspending if you're doing it for Arizona Restaurant Week. Now, it's important to do your research because in some cases, I've seen some restaurants charge you as much as $20 more just because it's Arizona Restaurant Week. In other cases, you can save $20 or more. So again, read that fine print. You're going to see a lot of it at the bottom and see if the drinks are included, because if they're not, that's going to be an additional charge.
Okay, thank you for the heads up, and good to see so many places getting involved. Up next, we are cruising right along on this Friday morning. At 6:30, will it be a treat for football fans or is it just possibly a trick? We're talking Pac-12 football at a possible start on Halloween.
Plus, an unprovoked shooting, one suspect in custody, another one still out there this morning. New details in the investigation into that shooting involving DPS troopers.